Hey everybody, welcome to the 16th episode of California Wine TV. Thank you so much for tuning in. So for this episode, I'm here in the kitchen, going to do some cooking and wine pairing just for you. So today we got scallops. I'm going to do little scallops, a little curry. Got my favorite contraption back here, the rice cooker, and just kind of like a quick, easy curry for you guys. And we're going to pair it up with a Viognier. Very beautiful. Take a look at this label on here. It's an exquisite picture. Coming from the Casa Branca label, 2006. We'll get more into the wine later. Just took it out of the fridge, so let it cool down for a little while. Don't want to have it too cold. I think a lot of us drink our whites too cold. Don't need it in a bucket of ice. I like to take it out of the fridge, let it sit, for a good 15-20 minutes before we drink it. So let's get started with the cooking. Just want to start on low heat. Get some extra virgin olive oil here. A couple tablespoons or so. All right, so we got some scallions cut up nice and thin. Gonna throw those in with the olive oil. Some curry powder, about 5 or 6 tablespoons. Let's give that a good stir. There are all kinds of different curry powders you can use. Some of them are more spicy than others. I went with one that's kind of a middle of the road. Kind of fragrant, aromatic, not real spicy. Want to add about a tablespoon of butter to that. Let that start heating up. So this year, I got to tell you guys, I am really enjoying the NBA playoffs. The Lakers are doing great. Right now, they're up 2-0 on the Utah Jazz. Other teams too, though. There have been some excellent games. I just finished watching the Celtics-Cavs game. Rondo had that huge triple-double. One of the best performances I've seen in the Celtics uniform since Larry Bird. It was really an incredible game. I'm just having a blast watching all the games this year. It's really something special. And so if you caught the episode we did on Valentine's Day where I whipped up a little steak and risotto, you can see I did a little upgrade here at California Wine TV. Got some nicer cookware finally. Long time coming, let me tell you. And so cooking on stainless steel here. So let's see how this is doing. Let's just keep giving this a little stir, letting it heat up. Letting that butter kind of get going with the curry powder and the scallions. Alright, so the scallops we got, fresh, wild caught. When you get your scallops, you usually want to just rinse them. Make sure, sometimes they put a chemical on there to keep them nice and white in the store. So you want to rinse them and pat them down with a little paper towel, get them nice and dry. Unless you know for sure that your fishmonger isn't doing that kind of thing, if you know that there's nothing applied to it, if it's all natural, you can skip that process. Go ahead and season them right off the bat. Put a little salt on them. Like using a little kosher sea salt. Flip these guys over. Getting a little salt on the other side. I don't know about you guys, I love scallops. They're just awesome. Pretty versatile pairing with foods and also in cooking. You can use a lot of different kinds of sauces with them. It really goes great. Let's get this mixture going. Butter starting to melt in. You can smell the aromas come in from the curry and the scallions starting to come up. It's really beautiful. Like I was saying earlier, rice cooker, one of my favorite contraptions. Good way to save money. It's an easy way to cook. You come home, Just throw some rice in it, turn it on, throw some water in there. You can forget about it. Go ahead and start cooking, the rest of your meal. And then when you're done with everything else, you got some nice rice ready for you. I've been into the basmati rice lately at Costco. Just buy a big bag of it, and it's pretty economical, and it's I really like the texture that it has. It's really, really good stuff. So our butter's almost all the way melted. Stir that a little bit more. So getting used to cooking on the stainless steel. Before I was using the non-stick. A little bit different reaction to heat, and but I like the fact you can be really rough with it. You can use metal utensils, you can use a whisk, whatever you want with it. It's not going to damage the surface at all. Problems that I just beat the heck out of the non-stick stuff. I mean, after just using it for a couple of months, I have marks, and it's just stainless steel for me is definitely the way to go. Alright, so just about melted here, the butter. Yeah, it smells fantastic. The aromatics, again, coming out from that curry. And the next step that we're going to want to do is we're going to put some coconut milk. 2 cans of coconut milk. I like to use one of each, one of the light variety, one of the normal, kind of save on calories, make it a little bit healthier, but still keep some of that richness by using 1 can of the regular. And you got to make sure you shake this stuff really well before you use it, especially the regular. I like the organic stuff myself. It's really good for you as well. Give this a little more heat. The curries are really a fun thing to pair with wine. They're, you can pair red wines like Zinfandels, white wines, Riesling, Chardonnays, Viognier like we're doing today. Those all go great with curries. And so you don't have to stick with whites. You can, like I said, a red Zinfandel is pretty amazing with Indian food. Alright, so this is starting to come up to heat, taking a little bit longer than I thought. And let's go ahead and add the coconut milk to it. So like I said, 1 can of each. I crank up the heat. We want to bring this to a boil. Give this a nice stir. Oh, the coconut milk just smells awesome. Curries are really versatile. You can use lamb, beef, chicken, shellfish. You can use like white fish even with it. Okay, as we wait for this to come up to a boil, let's get our other pan heated up. These scallops, we're going to want to sear these, so we want a really high heat here, and that's the whole key to them. You're going to try to sear them. And when you sear it, you really get that nice caramelization on the outside, which is really awesome, really cool texture, and the inside is just kind of medium, barely cooked. Alright, so about a tablespoon of butter. Go back to our curry here, give it a little smell, a little stir. Oh, it's fantastic. That coconut milk, this has an incredible aroma to it. Right over here, our butter's starting to melt. Alright, and then to this we want to add about a tablespoon canola oil, or you can use vegetable oil. You don't want to really use olive oil for searing. You want something that has a higher smoke point. Alright, so this is just about. And you want this, you want to be able to almost see like smoke coming off of it. You want it to be very hot. Go back to our curry real quick, give it a little stir. You hear the, get these scallops in. Okay, and the key with these guys is you do not want to touch them for like 2.5 minutes. Very tempting. You want to flip them over, see what's happening, but don't do it. It's the big rule with scallops. You're going to ruin that beautiful caramelization that you're going for. Curry's looking real nice. Get a bowl when you're ready to serve this. Smells great. Now, this is really what it's all about for me. I absolutely love cooking, doing some experimenting with wine pairing, and let me turn this fan on a little bit, a little smoky in here. But that's one of the cool things with wine, is discovering how to pair, different foods with different wines. And in the beginning, I wasn't really so into that, but as I started getting more into wines, that's really one of the big things that really drew me in, is experimenting with those pairings. So looks like our scallops are doing good. Like I said, we're just going to leave them. Curry started to come to a boil, so we just want to turn that down now to a simmer. Good on the scallops. So while this is going on, let's go back to the wine. Viognier is a full-bodied white grape, big aroma. Its origin goes back to Roman times, but it's more commonly known as one of the big northern Rhone varieties in France. And it's been happening recently in California to some extent. And interesting, Casa Barranca, their vineyard, everything is totally organic, 100% solar powered, which is pretty incredible. It's the first organic vineyard in Santa Barbara County. And Ojai, where it's located, is just a beautiful area. I recommend you guys check it out, definitely. So let's go back to the food. Scallops are looking good. Curry, just have a nice simmer at this point. Alright, so I would say we've held out long enough. Let's take a quick peek at what's happening at the bottom of these scallops. Alright, starting to look pretty good. I would say maybe another minute and they'd be ready to flip. And to me, 2 to 3 minutes per side, and when you flip them, just cook them for like another minute, turn off the heat, take them off, you're done. They'll keep cooking, that heat inside, that residual heat will keep cooking. If you cook them any more than about a minute on that flip side, you're probably going to end up overcooking them. They cook pretty fast. Thing with scallops,